The border is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system, in particular over the last 4 years before we came in, and it needs to be fixed.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border in that that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
Come on, Chuck Todd. You're sitting across from her. All you had to say is, you're the czar of the border. Why can't you fix it? Anyway, just check this out. This exclusive video now from our team on the ground at the border. Dozens of illegal immigrants dressed in camouflage now, using ropes to scale Arizona's partial border wall. And they are joining the other 500,000 gotaways. No, actually the number's more like 800,000 now, that the Department of Homeland Security says already evaded capture this year. They are dressed to evade. They didn't even have to do that, Steve. They were getting away anyway.
Yes.
This is tough.
They look like the military, don't they? If you didn't know any better, you know, had you not seen the Uber guy from the cartel drop people off on the Mexican side where they take, you know, they go over, next thing you know, if they're going to, surrender themselves, they wouldn't be wearing clothes that are invisible to see. I was watching you in your program about a half an hour ago, talking about how that organization has estimated that so far what the number of people that Joe Biden has let in has cost American taxpayers $20 billion bucks.
Wow.
When you figure out the number per migrant, and this is the jaw-dropping part, it comes down to nearly $10,000 per person. So you look at that person, that's going to cost the federal government $10,000 for 1 year. You see those shots from Bill Melugin with 100 people?
Yeah.
100 times 10,000 is $1 million. How many millions of dollars are just coming across the border, and Joe Biden's okay with that?
Well, and so what we did, Laura, last hour was compare those numbers of what we're spending to completing the wall. And look, maybe that wouldn't have been such a big deal if the press secretary for the White House hadn't said, well, you didn't get that done in 4 years. I mean, so are they acquiescing that it works?
Well, isn't that the question, right? I mean, it's so interesting to see all of this happen. And for anyone to try and suggest that Donald Trump did not have the most secure border in recent history is outrageous. We all know that. You saw migrants crossing the southern border drop by 87% under the Trump administration. We had around 400 miles of border wall that was built by my father-in-law. He had to fight tooth and nail for that. Don't forget, the Democrats did everything they could to stop him from funding that border wall. But right, Harris, to your point, it was working. We saw that he tackled human trafficking. That was at an all-time low coming over our southern border. Look at the drugs now that free flow over the southern border. We didn't have these problems under the Trump administration. So for them to try and suggest in any way that Donald Trump did not have a handle on this is totally crazy. But then to see that they have completely disregarded the southern border, and yet we're spending billions of dollars on borders overseas for other countries, I think is a slap in the face to America.
So you guys all know that I spent some time at home in Arizona at the end of the summer, and I always go back to visit the border. I want to see what's going on there this fall for certain. And as I look at that situation, I start to wonder why people don't organize on this issue. Like, I don't know why we can see streets filled with people who don't agree with certain political points of view, and that's all right in America. But we've got to be loud about losing our sovereignty, and we can do it within the confines of the Constitution. Why not? I haven't seen anybody do that. Maybe they're exhausted and they feel like nobody would hear them.
There's such a blind eye being turned to what is a humanitarian crisis. There are so many bodies that have been killed, the migrants, that there are some border towns that have requested refrigerated trucks.
Yeah.
Where do you hear about that from the mainstream media? Why is the left not crying about that with their so-called commitment to compassion? What about the guns flooding over and the fentanyl and everything else that they claim as their talking points for their campaigns? That's like saying you have a cold, you hate sneezing, you hate having a runny nose, but you won't acknowledge the cold that is the source. And yet they claim that all of this originated under your father-in-law's tenure. It's absolutely offensive, to your point. And then we have certain mayors that are now crying foul and saying, well, it's only the Republicans, it's the GOPs. We're going to send them to those suburbs. The reality is, while taxpayers are paying $10,000 per illegal migrant, they're also having to work double jobs to afford baby formula and their own dinners. And why can we ask that of the American people more? How can the administration look us in the face and ask?
He's telling us.
There you go.
The president is telling us. Real quickly, do we have time to hear from the White House press secretary before we go to KAYLEIGh? Because I want to get you to react to this.
We had to fix something that was broken, especially by the last administration, the Trump administration, which largely just tried to build a wall, an ineffective wall, along the border and couldn't even finish that in 4 years. We're certainly doing a lot more to secure the border and could be doing even more if Republicans would stop their obstruction.
You know, I'm going to quote someone who has a way with words, and it's my former colleague, Stephen Miller, who to that point said this: human vocabulary is inadequate to convey the volcanic Vesuvian magnitude of her lie. And I don't use that word lightly, but I use it here because to say that you have done more to secure the border, the natural follow-up is, what have you done, Joe Biden? You left as a rotting pile border supplies that should have been used to build the wall. We've all seen the pictures of those materials just sitting there, wasting away. You rolled back, remain in Mexico. Oh yeah, you did that to secure the border. You didn't work with the Mexican government, who called you the migrant president, to bring troops there to the southern border like President Trump did. And you're trying to roll back Title 42. You have not done one thing to secure this border. And that talking point, I don't use the word lie lightly, but I use it in response to that because that's very evidently what that is.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and KAYLEIGh MCENANY on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.